In the frosty days leading up to Christmas 1929, the Lawson family of rural North Carolina prepared for what seemed like a special occasion. They dressed in brand new, carefully chosen clothes, an unusual luxury for a hard-working tobacco farming family living through the Great Depression. The Lawsons, like many families of the era, rarely indulged in such finery, making this moment all the more significant. They gathered together and posed for a rare family portrait, a formal photograph that would capture their likenesses for generations to come. The children, dressed in their Sunday best, stood close to their parents, their faces a mixture of pride and nervousness. Yet, behind those solemn faces and stiff postures, something deeply unsettling lingered. There was a heaviness in the air, a sense of unease that seemed to seep into the very fabric of the photograph. Unbeknownst to anyone outside the family, a dark secret simmered beneath the surface, one that would soon transform this innocent portrait into a chilling artifact of tragedy. Just days after the photograph was taken, the unthinkable happened. Of all the faces captured in that image, only one would survive the coming storm. The rest would be lost in a single, horrifying act that would shock the entire community and echo through history. The perpetrator of this unimaginable crime was not a stranger, nor an outsider. It was the family's own patriarch, Charlie Lawson, a man known for his stern demeanor and hard work, but whose inner turmoil remained hidden from those around him. In the days leading up to Christmas, Charlie meticulously planned not just a festive family outing, but the annihilation of nearly his entire family. He purchased the new clothes, arranged for the portrait, and set his plan in motion with chilling precision. The new clothes, meant to symbolize hope and celebration, would instead become their burial outfits, a haunting twist that would forever taint the memory of that day. This was no crime of passion, no sudden outburst of rage. It was cold, calculated, and premeditated, a deliberate act that left investigators and neighbors alike searching for answers that would never fully come. On Christmas Day, as the family prepared for their holiday, Charlie sent his eldest son, Arthur, away on an errand to a nearby store. This single act would spare Arthur's life, making him the sole survivor of the Lawson family massacre. With terrifying calm and a sense of grim purpose, Charlie began his deadly work, moving through the silent farmhouse as the winter wind howled outside. The tranquility of Christmas was shattered in an instant. Today, the Lawson family portrait remains, a snapshot of innocence, forever shadowed by the horror that followed. It stands as a haunting reminder of the secrets that can hide behind even the most ordinary of smiles, and the darkness that can lurk within a family's heart. To truly understand the tragedy that would one day shatter this family, you first have to know the Lawsons, not just as names in a headline, but as real people, living real lives, with hopes, struggles, and dreams like any other family of their time. The Lawsons were a family rooted in the red clay of rural North Carolina, their story woven into the fabric of the land and the small community of Germantown. Charlie and Fanny Lawson were tenant farmers, working hard to provide for their 7 children. Their days began before sunrise and ended long after dark, filled with the endless chores of farm life, milking cows, tending fields, mending fences, and making do with what little they had. Life was hard, there was never enough money, and the work was relentless. Yet, despite the hardships, the Lawsons were bound together by strong family ties and a sense of shared purpose. They laughed together, celebrated small joys, and leaned on each other through the toughest times. Their children were Arthur, the oldest at 16, a young man already taking on the responsibilities of adulthood; Marie, 17, bright and caring; Carrie, 12, full of energy and curiosity; and Maybelle, just 7, with a shy smile. Then there were the younger boys, James, 4, and Raymond, 2, always underfoot, always exploring, and baby Mary Lou, just 4 months old, the newest light in the family's life. The house was often filled with the sounds of children's laughter, the clatter of dishes, and the comforting routines of daily life. In the eyes of their neighbors, the Lawsons were respectable, church-going, and close-knit. They attended Sunday services, participated in community gatherings, and were seen as a model family in their small town. Charlie, the father, was known for his tireless work ethic, his hands rough from years of labor, and his determination to provide for his family, no matter the cost. But beneath his hard-working exterior, Charlie was also remembered for a stern, sometimes unpredictable temper. He could be strict, even harsh, and his moods sometimes cast a shadow over the household. Fanny, on the other hand, was the heart of the home. She kept the family together with her warmth, patience, and quiet strength, always making sure her children felt loved and cared for, even when times were tough. Outwardly, the Lawsons seemed to embody the picture of rural American normalcy. The children played in the fields, helped with chores, and walked to the little schoolhouse down the road, just like any other kids in the area. They learned their lessons, made friends, and dreamed of futures beyond the farm, their lives marked by the simple routines of country living. But behind closed doors, not everything was as peaceful as it seemed. There were tensions, secrets, and worries that never left the walls of their farmhouse. Nothing on the surface suggested the storm that was quietly brewing within. It was this very sense of normality, this image of a loving, ordinary family, that would make what happened next so unthinkable and so haunting. In the months before Christmas, Charlie Lawson changed. He became withdrawn, plagued by headaches after a head injury. The family's sudden splurge on new clothes and a portrait was out of character, an ominous clue in hindsight. Charlie was methodical, not chaotic. He was setting the stage for something final. He even discussed family murders with friends, as if researching. He bought a new shotgun and extra shells, another red flag. Rumors later swirled about an inappropriate relationship with his daughter Marie and possible pregnancy. Some believe Fanny discovered this secret, pushing Charlie to a point of no return. The motive remains horrifying, but it offers a glimpse into the darkness that took hold. Christmas Day dawned cold and gray, a heavy stillness hanging in the air over the rolling fields of rural North Carolina. The world outside was hushed, blanketed in a somber quiet that seemed to press against the windows of the Lawson farmhouse. Inside, Fanny Lawson moved quietly through the kitchen, her hands busy as she baked a Christmas cake. The scent of spices and sugar filled the house, mingling with the nervous anticipation that seemed to settle over the family. It was meant to be a day of celebration, a rare moment of joy in a year marked by hardship. That morning, Charlie Lawson sent his eldest son, Arthur, into town on an errand for shotgun shells. It was a curious request, but Arthur obeyed, unaware that his father's instructions were a calculated act of mercy, a way to spare him from the horror that was about to unfold. As the younger girls, Carrie and Maybelle, bundled up and set out for a visit to the barn, the day still held the promise of simple pleasures. But in the cold shadows of the barn, Charlie lay in wait, his mind already set on a path of violence. He ambushed his daughters, ending their lives in a moment of shocking brutality. The sound of gunfire shattered the morning calm. Then, moving with chilling purpose, Charlie turned back toward the house, where Fanny stood on the porch, perhaps drawn by the noise or simply lost in her own thoughts. He shot Fanny on the porch, her life ending in an instant. Inside, the remaining children, Marie, James, and Raymond, were unaware of the tragedy unfolding just outside. Charlie entered the house, his actions now unstoppable, and murdered his teenage daughter Marie, followed by the two little boys, James and Raymond, whose laughter had once filled the rooms. Finally, he entered the nursery, where baby Mary Lou lay in her crib, innocent and defenseless. In a final, unspeakable act, he ended her life as well, leaving the house in utter silence. With a strange, ritualistic care, Charlie arranged the bodies of his family. He crossed their arms over their chests and placed small rocks beneath their heads, as if trying to offer them some final dignity in death, or perhaps seeking forgiveness in his own way. Alone now, Charlie walked into the dense winter woods behind the house. The trees stood silent witness as he disappeared among them, carrying the weight of his actions. There, in the cold and isolation, he took his own life, ending the tragedy he had set in motion. The silence of the countryside was broken only by the echo of a final gunshot, a sound that would haunt the community for generations to come. When Arthur returned from town, he found the house eerily quiet. The warmth and laughter of Christmas morning had vanished, replaced by a chilling emptiness. As he stepped inside, The full horror of what had happened became clear. His entire family was gone. On the kitchen table, the Christmas cake sat untouched, its festive decorations now a cruel reminder of the joy that would never be shared. What was meant to be a symbol of hope and togetherness had become a silent witness to unimaginable loss. In a single devastating afternoon, the Lawson family was destroyed, their story forever etched into the dark history of Christmas Day, 1929. Neighbors and authorities arrived to a nightmare. The house was eerily quiet, Christmas decorations still hanging. Fanny lay on the porch, inside, the rest of the family. News spread quickly. No one could believe Charlie Lawson was the killer. The investigation was simple. The evidence was overwhelming. Charlie's suicide left no doubt, but no answers. Thousands attended the funeral, mourning not just the Lawsons, but their own lost sense of safety. A single coffin held Fanny and her 6 children. The community's grief was deep and public. If this could happen to the Lawsons, it could happen to anyone. The scar on Germantown would last for generations. With Charlie dead, the case was legally closed, but the motive remained a mystery. Theories swirled. Was it the head injury that changed him, or the rumored incest and pregnancy? The idea that Charlie killed to erase a terrible secret haunted the community. No confession was left behind, just mundane notes to his parents. The lack of explanation left a void, fueling endless speculation. Was he mad, evil, or desperate to escape shame? The facts were clear, but the man remained a puzzle. The story endures because the why was never answered. The Lawson murders became a chilling enigma, unsolved at its core. Arthur Lawson, the sole survivor, was left to rebuild his life with relatives. He carried the weight of grief and stigma, forever marked by that day. The funeral drew crowds from across the state, a public reckoning with horror. The shared coffin became a symbol of loss. The burial site turned into a place of pilgrimage as people tried to comprehend the tragedy. The story became folklore, immortalized in a ballad sung across the region. For the extended family, grief mingled with shame and unanswered questions. The wounds left by that Christmas day would never fully heal. After the funerals, the Lawson home became a macabre tourist attraction. Charlie's brother opened the house to the public, preserving it as it was on the day of the murders. Visitors paid to see the crime scene, the Christmas cake still on the table. Some saw it as exploitation, others a way to process the horror. The tours offered a physical connection to the tragedy. Eventually, the house was torn down, but its legacy lingered. The fascination with the macabre is part of human nature. The Lawson home became a monument to the darkness that can hide in ordinary places. Nearly a century later, the Lawson murders still haunt us. The horror of a father destroying his family is unforgettable. The family portrait, the ballad, and the Christmas cake keep the story alive. The lack of motive leaves a void we keep trying to fill. Was it madness, shame, or something darker? The ambiguity ensures the story is retold, generation after generation. The Lawsons were ordinary until they weren't. Their tragedy forces us to confront the fragility of life and the mysteries of the human heart. Thank you for joining me on this journey into a dark chapter of American history. For more stories exploring crime and the human condition, subscribe. We have many more to tell.